since the raids of his Miami and Los Angeles homes amid a sex trafficking probe. Sean Diddy Combs is being spotted out and about in South Florida. CBS News Miami's Nakai Carrero is showing us where Diddy has been.
Disturbing stories are surfacing about Sean Diddy Combs in the aftermath of those massive raids at his coast-to-coast mansions,
where he was making him pick out sex workers with BBCs.
Well, the thing about it is he has proof that he had to pick out the male sex workers, not only get the male and the female sex workers. He said that this is where it becomes a RICO act because he had to use credit cards, he had to use money. The same thing that Cassie said she did, that's in his lawsuit back in September, that he had to do the same thing, and he has the paper trail to prove it.
Things are heating up for Diddy as he's scrambling to contain the fallout from a leaked audio clip featuring him and Jay-Z. In the clip, which has been making rounds online, the two hip-hop moguls are heard discussing some private matters that have fans and industry insiders buzzing. The conversation allegedly hints at business deals, hidden connections, and personal secrets that neither of them probably wanted to get out.
I want to dig deeper into this lawsuit by Cassie, because when we did the first interview, we couldn't get into everything because the lawsuit is so long. So looking at this lawsuit, she alleges that, Diddy, he'll make her look online for BBCs for their freak-off sessions. And she say that, in this lawsuit that, Diddy, he enjoyed watching her get smashed by BBCs. So, what you think about that?
Do you think she was the only one getting banged by him? Do you think this man had this woman search for prostitutes online just for them to have sex with her? It's something fishy about that, bruh. Because you got to realize this lawsuit and the information they had and they gave the Diddy people was 6 months ago. So some of that stuff was cut out. Okay, we're gonna give you this, but you gotta cut this part out. Let's just say allegedly, or just for the sake of it, Cassie wasn't the only one who wanted, or she didn't want it, but Cassie, who searched for the big black, and she was searching for the big black, not only for herself, but for somebody else who we all know that was in the room with her. So if he want to see it, and he want her to touch it, that other person in the room with her just might want to feel it. Allegedly.
So you feel like Diddy was having sex with the male prostitutes?
They had to be for both of them. They was in the room. Right?
You're right.
It's a freak-off session. Right? She said it's a freak-off session. If she says a freak-off session, brother, she ain't the only one freaking off. The prostitute ain't the only one freaking off. Old boy is freaking off also.
Right. So you think he was letting these guys use their BBCs on him?
I think that, and me just being a trained investigator and reading through the lines of certain things, and one time I had read something that Cassie couldn't take it no more. She told her friend, and this was she was under a non-disclosure and everything like that. She told her friend she couldn't take it no more because she had seen this dude do something. I've heard plenty of stories about him being on a yacht. That same yacht that Kim was on, and the same yacht she got her nose broken on, that somebody was doing something to him when they walked in the room, and it caused a confrontation. This is what somebody who was on the yacht said to me.
Gene Deal is one of the few people who got to see the real Jay-Z and Diddy firsthand, and now he is spelling all the things they thought were under wraps.
You understand? They was telling that story to somebody. And it was a female. But my whole thing about it was this, is that anything in that lawsuit, you got to realize that we only got a portion of it because it's been chopped up. Things has been taken out. So somebody wouldn't look a certain way. Now, they left some of the things in there. But I'm sure plenty of times Cassie may have seen some stuff that she ain't really want to look at. But it was freak off day.
Right. And when I look at this lawsuit, man, Cassie, she also alleges that, while she was having sex with these male prostitutes, the male prostitutes and Diddy, they all wore masquerade masks.
He didn't want her to know who they were. So if she ever wanted to do what she just did, how does she say how the person look? All she could describe is if they was wearing masks, unless she saw them before they put the mask on. It's craziness, man. And you know what's so crazy is, bruh, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this and try to engage other men into sexual acts with him. There was story that he was trying to get Chris Brown. There's stories about, those young boys that he had, a group B5 or something like that, trying to get them. Yo, it's a lot of stories that goes around in this industry about not just him, other people. Jimmy Iovine. Ain't nobody talking about Jimmy Iovine. He got sexual charges and everything on him, but he got those publicists that's keeping it out off of CNN, is keeping it off the major news reports. Nobody's talking about that. This is something that goes on, man, that they're gonna push up under the rug, and a few years later, Bad Boy 5, 6, 7, 8 will be out. Mark probably graduated, I don't know, but his stay at Howard, then he came to work for Puff. They were all of them was trained by Kirk Barrow. Now they all executives, either in the music business or Biggs Estate.
So of course they're gonna be looking out for what's best for Diddy.
Why do you think Bad Boy never got sued? Why do you think Ms. Wallace never sued Bad Boy or Arista? Because the same dudes kept that lawsuit out of her mind. They did not have enough security or proper security for the Notorious Big in the height of the East Coast, West Coast war. What the media had already planned out to be, it was a war. Pac had died. There was gang violence on both sides. Why you think Ms. Wallace never sued Arista or Bad Boy? Because her management, Big's management, the people that took over their estate, was all friends with Puff.
And you feel like she should have sued them for bringing Biggie out to LA with a lack of security?
Bro, I was a New York State parole officer, and I also was an investigator. When I first got out there, I called Kirk Barrows.
For the record, at this time, Diddy wasn't as bad as he was now. Even Gene Deal mentioned that his urges to be brutal grew with time.
My man, we don't have enough security. There's not enough security here. I got Puff, Kenny got Puff, Paul Alford has Big, and Kenny, I forgot Kenny, Baylock or something like that. Kenny Baylock has, they just got named Kenny Baylock. Paul Alford and some cop from LA got Big. Two people for Puff and 2 people for Big. Now they got entourage. People around us in the entourage. How do you look out for all those people? Arista did not provide proper security for Big. At the video shoot they did, because they had these militiamentary men, and they were on top of their game. And they only hired 3 of them. So Big had 5 people doing the video shoot. After the video shoot, he only had 2. The whole time, he only had 2. Come on, man. Get out of here. Wasn't enough security. Arista should have been sued, and Bad Boy should have been sued.
And speaking of that, Rolling Stone, they revealed that Diddy, he was fighting with, Biggie attorneys before Biggie died over the publishing.
Well, he didn't have to fight on them. He owned them. Biggie mother was trying to get his publishing because she knew that's what her son wanted. Puff wasn't going to get that up. Hell no. Do you understand what? I think Big probably, didn't he go diamond? Did that ever go diamond? He sold 10 million copies? You know what the publishing is on that? 1 point is worth about $1 million. 1 point on that album is worth $1 million. So if he owned all what he owns with Bad Boy, plus what he owned Big 24%, Bad Boy automatically take 50%. If he got 75% of that, and 1% is worth $1 million, that's 75 million he get off the rip. My numbers could be wrong, but damn. Oh no, it's a whole lot of cheddar, bro. A whole lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, man. But also in this Rolling Stone article, right, they revealed that Diddy, he attacked a female with a belt when he was in college outside the Harriet Tubman dorm.
Bruh, and Howard University still gave this month an honorary degree. Knowing that stuff was reported. Knowing it was reported, they still gave him an honorary degree. Cash ruled everything around them. Ooh, it's the money. Dollar bill, y'all. It's crazy.
You think they knew that back then?
Bruh, they reported that. Anything that happens on those campuses, the RAs, I lived on them. They write up a report. It goes to the dean of students. You understand what I'm saying? It goes to campus security, and they know about it. They keep a report of that.
They must have really wanted that donation from Diddy, man.
Well, they didn't know at that time that he was going to be who he is. But still in all, knowing that he did that, knowing that he did some of the things at Howard University, because he made statements. He said himself, I used to sell joints. You know, that's back in our days. They sell a joint for $5 or a joint for $1. When they buy probably an ounce of weed, roll it up and to single joints and sell them. They used to do that. He said that himself. That's what he used to do at college. That's who you give an honorary degree to? Man, I'm just ashamed of our system and our people sometimes.
Yeah, that's pretty thirsty. If they knew that and they still gave him that honorary degree, yeah, man, they must have really wanted that donation, man.
Yeah, that'll change a whole lot of money. Change a whole lot of people's minds, man.
But my question to you is this, right? If they knew this when they gave him, the degree, why is they taking it back now? Do you think it's because of the pressure they getting right now, or?
Well, the man got caught at 4K slapping around another women. What else is needed?
Well, it had to be the pressure because they have other contributors. They have other donors. You understand what I'm saying? And they supposed to represent a higher standard. Education-wise, one of the greatest fraternities in the world was founded there. Omega Psi Phi. All those different people give donations and contributions to Howard University. Now here you got somebody who has a doctorate degree, then beat a woman right there for the world to see. Yo, take that back. You're making us look bad.
Crazy, man. And also in this article, right, Felicia Newsom, she was the first manager of Bad Boy Recording Studios. She detailed a time where she had to hold Diddy back from beating a female after a fight broke out. You heard anything about that?
I'm not familiar with that, brother, but I don't believe a woman could hold Puff back. Puff ain't one of those dudes that if you ain't a big dude like myself, you're not just gonna hold him back if he really wanted to get somebody. So I don't believe she held Puff back. Puff didn't really want to do nothing to her. And she probably got in between. But Puff ain't the dude. Did you hear one of his bodyguards say, yo, he threw me, I was looking at one of the things, man, and one of the bodyguards said, yo, I was trying to stop him and he threw me off and went over there to Cassie or Kim, and started hitting her. And that's crazy. He never would have done nothing like that to me, Wolf. Never. Not at all. So it may have happened. She got in between, but if Puff really wanted to get to her, I don't see no woman stopping him. Not at all.
So that story a little suspect to you?
It's suspect to me if Puff really wanted her. If Puff really wanted that girl, she couldn't stop Puff. Not at all. Like I said, I've seen Puff throw dudes his size. One or two dudes that was a little bigger than him was playing him like he couldn't do it. I was like, oh, you understand what I'm saying? So my whole thing about it is I don't believe no woman stopped him from doing that.
Yeah, I don't see that. But when I was reading this article, Kirk Barrels, he detailed a time that, after Biggie was killed, he was advocating for Biggie to be on the cover of Rolling Stone, and Diddy said no. He made a comment saying that, no, Biggie is dead. I'm putting out No Way Out. I need to be on the cover of Rolling Stone.
I was bodyguarding Puff at that time, and I bodyguarded him through that whole Rolling Stone interview. And the crazy thing about it is that I remember that whole story vividly. You understand? Puff was doing the No Way Out. He was taking the runs of Bad Boy and putting it on his shoulder because it's his company. He had to do the music, but they wanted to do like Big had a short-lived life, but the legacy, you understand? And Rolling Stone at that time, you talking about 97. It wasn't too many of us on that Rolling Stone. It wasn't too many of us on Rolling Stones. And Rolling Stones could have been considered what some people may say somewhat of a racist newspaper. A racist, publication. They wasn't making us like our culture. They wasn't putting us on the magazine of doing articles on us like they've done in the last 10, 15 years. You understand? So back then, for them to put Big on there and say it to his legacy, that would have been something real big for Rolling Stones and for Big and the people from New York, Brooklyn, and the hip hop culture, because he did lose his life for nothing. Puff advocated and said that if I own the marketing and I own the publishing, what could they do?
After all, Diddy is a businessman. He is after that green.
They can't market big on anything because he owned most of it. They had to get his approval. That's what people don't know. That come into the marketing part of it. But I do know of an incident with Rolling Stone prior to Pac and Big being dead with one of the Rolling Stones reporters. And that was crazy. And I spoke about it before. You understand? That's when that's when Tupac, Suge, me, Puff, and Kenny and Riz was together and we met behind the House of Blues. Now, if you want to hear that one, I could tell you that story. And that story, oh yeah. We were interviewing with Rolling Stones and I'm sure it was Rolling Stones. It wasn't Billboard, it was Rolling Stone. And Riz was in the behind the passenger. The reporter was in the middle, and I was behind the driver, Kenny. And we driving behind the House of Blues. And we was driving behind the House of Blues. We see Tupac and we see Suge. Suge is in a red drop top. I guess it's a Rolls Royce or a Bentley. And Tupac is in a white one, Rolls Royce, Bentley, both drop top. And it was a van, a couple of car lengths back behind them. I knew they was with them because there's no way they riding around with drop tops and they don't have no security. So then we had drove past them. And then Riz was like, yo, there go them niggas right there. There go those dudes right there. We drove back around. When we drove back around, Puff tried to speak to Pac. Yo, Pac, what's up? Pac is on his cell phone. Pac looked at him and just turned his head, didn't say nothing. Riz was in the back seat and Riz was like, talk to Suge the boss. F Pac, talk to Suge. We drive up to Suge. Then Puff had a conversation with Suge. Yo, Suge, you know any problems we got out here? We got any problems out here? Suge said, I don't know any problems y'all got out here. So Puff was like, yo, so we good? He said, yeah, I guess, yeah, y'all good. Why wouldn't y'all be good? The conversation went like that. But at this time, Riz was sitting behind Puff with 240 cows in his hand. You know what I'm saying? And the reporter was sitting right there. So we drove up, I think it's like a hill right up there. We drove up, and when we got to the top, Puff turned around and looked at the reporter. He said, yo, I better not hear nothing about what just went on. You can't put this in no article and you can't never speak on it. I better not hear about nothing. You got me? Reporter said, yeah. He ain't speak on it in the article.
And you said that Pac, he didn't want to speak to Diddy?
Not at all. He looked at him, turned his head. I guess he was, because Suge was on the phone too. They was probably talking to each other. You know what I mean?
So what do you personally think came of that conversation?
Personally, I know what came of that conversation because a couple of days later, because we were still in LA, Suge went to New York. And he had that meeting with Eric B, Big D, some other people like Chasnum or whatever like that. They had that meeting and they were starting Death Row East with Eric B. They was trying to squash that whole beef with Big and Tupac. So while we was out of California, Puff get a phone call. It's Haitian Jack on the phone. Haitian Jack is telling Puff that Zip, Big D, Eric B, all them out here is partying with Suge. Puff calls Zip, and Zip says, he just started laughing. And Puff said, man, y'all making me look bad, man. Y'all sitting up there, y'all partying with old boy and everything like that. Y'all, what you call? Zip, you can hear Zip laughing, and Zip just hung up the phone on him. You understand?
I ain't no billionaire or a rapper, but man, if my homeboys are partying with my ops and I call them politely and get hung up on, I'ma make my gat pop.
So if Puff would have sent a representative like Zip and them asked him to, prior to that whole conversation, neither one of them kids would have been dead. They would have squashed that whole beef. Now, I don't know about Pac's situation at the casino, but it wouldn't have been no beef with Big and Pac no more.
Why do you think Diddy was so adamant about that not getting out?
Bruh, how you gonna report that when they roll up on Suge Knight and Tupac, there was a gunman in the back that was ready to do harm or could have done harm to to Pac or Suge? Riz was that type of dude, bruh. Everybody know Gert was that type of dude. He was one of those quiet type of gangsters that you didn't want to meet in a dark alley or even a lighted room. He's the same guy that died out there with BMF with Wolf. So he was about that life. God bless the dead. Yo, if you watch that Rolling Stones, if you read the Rolling Stones, it's a lot of information they got from your show, brother. When we talked about it, all they did say a source, a bad boy source. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't do the interview with them. You understand what I'm saying? So they said a bad boy source. All they did was try to they got a lot of information off of your platform. Then they went and said a bad boy source, not revealing the source who told them, which was me, and I didn't tell them nothing. It's just what they heard me say during these interviews.
Yeah, that's wild, man. And also in this article, a guy named Damien, he's a former intern at Bad Boy. He said that, when Diddy and Jennifer Lopez broke up, Diddy, he had staffers kept outside, MTV TRL studios with signs, try to win Jennifer Lopez back. You know anything about that?
Everywhere. See, what happened was Jennifer had this personal assistant, and I don't know what she owed Puff or what Puff did for her, but he was able to call her and find out everywhere Jennifer was at. You understand? One time she was somewhere, he sent 100 dozen roses and was trying to get Luther Vandross there to sing for her. So I believe Damien, because I was there when he was making deals with the personal assistants of Jennifer Lopez and finding out where Jennifer was going to be so he could send people over there. You understand? With gifts, roses, and all this other shit.
Wow. So he was really trying to win her back then?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt, bro. But they wasn't listening. You know what I'm saying? These guys is hard-headed, man. I used to tell people, yo, when he was dating Jennifer, I said, y'all know Private Eyes is following us, right? PIs is following us. And PIs will be following us. And I don't know if Jennifer had the PIs doing it. I don't know if Benny Medina, somebody who has some kind of relationship with Jennifer, had Private Eyes following us to see what Puff was doing.
Crazy, man. How you feel about Biggie's mom reaction to the video? Her saying that she wanted to slap Diddy.
Well, I think she wanted to slap him way before she saw that video. Big Mother wanted to slap Puff way before that. Because if you ever see her in anything that they ever gave for Big and Puff was there, she was always distanced to him. Because she probably believed after having that conversation with me that Puff played some kind of part in her son dying.
After all, Diddy got Biggie to get into that situation. He had no business in LA.
They make you look at it. When they make you look at it. What? So hold on, wait. So Rihanna has Fenty.
Just like
what's the Kardashian sister name?
Bebe got she got the Mercy. Was it the Cersei Mercy?
The Kylie Jenner, that's her name. Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, she going broke.
Damn it, she has
You didn't hear? No. Ain't nobody buying that shit no more. Travis stopped wanting her and everybody stopped wanting her makeup. Come to find out they wasn't even living together. It was all a front. She bought the house so people would think he lived there, but he's done come out and said he'd much rather have Marilyn Manson than well, that was getting him somewhere.
I mean, him and again, I go back to him and Tiger had a whole fight. Maybe not over her, but they had a whole fight.
Do you believe in that Timothy Chalamet shit too?
Oh,
you think he likes her?
I like Dune too. All right, Jaguar back on the couch.
Hey! On the couch wearing shoes.
For those that always love to, see what y'all,
see my feet? Do they look dirty? Because they say I always have my dirty feet on the couch.
We don't pay no attention.
That's what they say. So guess what? I wore shoes.
Come on now.
And now I'm gonna take my feet.
Get comfortable.
And I'm gonna put them on this musty, dirty, funky couch that
all the adjectives. All the adjectives. So here we go.
Because I smell like fish sandwiches in my nether regions.
God damn.
Yeah.
So you be in the comments, really? Like you be like, okay. All right, let's.
Oh, it's always the same people. It really doesn't matter. Them and all 20 of their personalities on all of their 40 accounts.
We're gonna blame the Chinese. All right.
Yeah. Do that.
Here we go. Are we not? They got the farm.
No, he said we're gonna blame Egg Foo Young because it still don't make no sense. Okay.
Come on now.
We're gonna clean that up as best as we can.
Let's get right to it. We got to get down to business, man, because 2024 Jaguar, right, has been your year in the sense that you have awoken something in people that they didn't know that was there, which is a yearning for the truth, a yearning for what's really going on. It's almost like when you watch The Wizard of Oz and you see, again, it goes from Technicolor, black and white to Technicolor, but you get down to the wizard and he unveils everything that you thought was real is all.
Yeah.
And you are technically playing the role of Oz right now. You are giving us an inside look on things that people either didn't know they wanted to know or they're just intrigued about in the sense of the way your storytelling about it goes. First and foremost, some people always want to say, hey, Jaguar comes on this couch. How does she know? Again, we already talked about this, and we already talked about how you know, but it's more so how much do you know now? And
isn't it funny every time we meet somebody new that I put all of us in the soup with? Every time I talk to them, doesn't it seem like I always seem to know something they think I shouldn't or didn't think that I would know?
Every single time.
Every single time.
And those who ask.
You want to know what's funny?
Please.
If I was from London and I was Caucasian and my name was Sloan, people would be okay with it.
Nice. Come on.
You want to know what's funny? To be acknowledged by a psychic as being accurate and people still calling me a liar, but they'll believe her. You'll believe the psychic that got her information from the ether somewhere, but the person who was actually there is the liar. That's weird.
Is it the delivery? Is it the...
No, I think it's the payment. I think Sean Carter's been paying a lot of money to get people to say whatever he wants them to say because that's his greatest talent.
We know how the game plan would go. Diddy will get arrested. He'll testify against Jay-Z and Stevie J. Usher would be called to court. Gene Deal would be called to court, and Diddy would opt out in jail.
Even down to the company that we're working with or been working with right now, View It. We have undeniable evidence that they took money to sideline Jag, to sideline Real Jag, to turn away members to make it look like people aren't interested, to owe us 6 figures and refuse to pay us, even though they know we have a lawyer to pay. Even though they sat there and said, you need to stop working with Real Life. They don't have your best interest. They're not paying you what you're worth. You should get away from them. Can you bring them here? Would they be interested in coming here? Yeah.
So Jack, a man with $1 billion says, hey, I want her
Brokest billionaire I ever met in my life.
But if he says, I want her to be quiet.
Easy.
He has the power.
Yeah, to go and pay somebody $5 million to shut down my projects, to stop from coming out, or asking us to turn in our series list, people that we're investigating so that they could have advanced knowledge so that they can go back to my enemies and tell them where I'm looking or what I'm looking at. We just started turning in fake names because it became obvious. You're not trying to help us, you're trying to hurt us, but the question is why? And it becomes very simple. A person that used to do business with them is no longer with them because he no longer wanted to do business with Jay-Z and Diddy, which means View It has had ties to Jay-Z and Diddy all along. Want to know what's even more interesting than that?
Please.
They used my brother Jay French to get to me.
Not French.
Guess who brought him there?
Oh,
The Yin Yang twins, who I know for a fact are government informants.
Not French.
And if you're not sure about it, maybe you should ask Calvin, Wendy Williams' husband, what he did to get them in trouble to make sure they became federal informants. And now they're in Vegas looking for true believer artists and bringing them to a company where there are people who are supposed to be billionaires. And one of the owners looks like he could be Leora Cohen's first cousin. Interesting.
So Jack, before we bring up these big names, let me ask you, why go after the big names? If they may have the power to silence you going after them.
Because guess what? If I win, then I win. But I'd rather go down losing with voice. It might embolden other people to come forward and speak up. And see, one Jaguar right is a problem. Imagine 1,000.
You seem to have opened up. Again, we just spoke with Jonathan Hay, and he thanked you for bringing his voice to light because he has stories that goes way back to the early days of Rihanna.
That's my job.
And he said you gave him the courage.
What did I tell y'all when we first sat here? I'm going to keep talking until everyone else is so loud that they can't hear me no more. Wow. That's my job.
That's right.
To make sure that I'm not being drowned out by lies, but I'm being drowned out by the rest of the truth. That's the gig. And after talking with him tonight, I think our relationship is hitting another plateau. Because y'all have been listening to me tell y'all these things, and y'all been hearing everybody calling us liars for doing and saying what we did. And now here is a man that was there. What happens next? Is he gonna be a liar too? Or is he going to be a liar because he's a liar? Because he lied? Because he said this? Now, he just sat there and said that they asked him to fall on his sword.
Yeah.
Was he lying? Do y'all think he was lying?
No. His position, where his condition, his everything that's going on about it.
I know what it feels like to be duct taped in the trunk of a car. And I know what it feels like to make a deal that you don't want to make to get out. His PTSD is real.
So let's start with this, Jack.
And Drake, he was working with Drake.
Yeah.
And then helping Drake's baby mama, who he was trying to keep on the low, and all of a sudden he in the trunk with his daughter.
Okay. In the Diddy lawsuit that was filed by Little Rod, obviously people are looking more into that, as it does seem, as the days go on, to have a high probability of being accurate, or at least some of the stuff being accurate. I'm going to say alleged, because in the lawsuit it is alleged that 50 Cent, his ex, who goes by the name of Daphne Joy, who is a model, and I believe they have a kid together, was named as a quote-unquote sex worker for Diddy. That prompted 50 to go after her, and apparently they're like in some kind of custody battle now over their kid. I just wanted to get your thoughts on, 50 always trolled him, but what are your thoughts now that it looks like, according to the lawsuit anyway, they took a shot at his ex?
Yeah. Well, 50, he learned that from 50. Don't y'all remember what 50 did with Rick Ross' wife? And how he trolled Rick Ross? So he got that from Rick, from 50, I think. Or unless she just outright straight up just like being around those type of men, men that, in the music business, or that's successful, or that can buy her a nice purse or whatever. But, because she obviously was getting paid. I'm sure if 50 was just giving her $10,000 for child support, she's doing all right. She can do all right. Or, she just like to have sex. I don't know. But yeah, I think Puffy only gave her that job because he was paying back 50, because 50 been trolling Puff for a while. Y'all know that. Or Diddy. I forgot he changed his name to Diddy. And so I would never go to war with 50 Cent. 50 Cent can call me every name in the book, because that nigga's the ultimate troll. I still laugh when I need a laugh. I go and watch when he posted that online about Floyd Mayweather and the book and the reading and stuff. I've been telling y'all, 50 and Snoop are great Instagram followers. But ooh, that's another person that's probably shitting too, huh? Snoop Dogg, forgot about Snoopy. But anyway, yeah, it's unfortunate that 50 had to go through that, but I don't blame Puff. That's how I would get him back too. I would have hired her too if I had money like that. And 50 know what he did it to Rick Ross. When he took his wife shopping and did an interview and exposed him about being a cop, which shit, I don't see a problem with that. Don't understand why you youngsters had a problem with that. But okay, I got it. Y'all hate the police, all right. But you should only hate crooked cops, not because there's some good cops out there. But hey. That was what I get from it. Payback is a mother. Y'all call it karma, we call it payback. And I think that's what's going from that, and that's what happened. I hope it turns out that she was just had a job and it's not true, and people just making the allegations against people. Because I know my girl Capricorn worked over there, and I know she wasn't doing nothing like that with him. So everybody that was employed by him wasn't doing that. That just goes to show you though, that these people are not going to prison for nobody. Gene Deal told y'all. Then y'all hear Gene saying, if they ask, we're telling. And that's pretty much how people think. And that don't have this quote snitching or gang, all you tough guys on the keyboards and all of that. Once you set in that table or that tape, y'all go watch 48 Hours and y'all see what people does. Get diarrhea out the mouth. And that's what's going to happen with Puffy. A lot of people going to get contacted. They're going to be contacting a lot of people. And hopefully some of them was just actually workers. And but hey, 50 been trolling Puffy. And so he was supposed to did that. I would have did that if I had the money to hire somebody and play with their ex-wives and stuff. Yeah.
We'd love to hear what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like and subscribe.